thank you for staying on. As Chief said, there's a room of really positive energy. To be honest, sustainability is never easy. So today, I feel really encouraged by our partners who share the same belief, but also the same purpose and values. So let me first introduce our panelists. So on my right, we have Vivek, who is a dedicated climate advocate. That's what you call yourself, right? But his real job is actually the Regional Chief Risk Officer of IFC. And then we have Winsley, Vice President at GCash, and you look after new businesses and also many other functions for GCash, which is Philippines' widely used finance super app, now serving more than 94 million active users. And then last but not least, my boss, Leiming Chen, Senior Vice President at Ant Group and also Chief Sustainability Officer of Ant International. Leiming has a rich background in corporate governance and regulatory matters, but then he has also transformed himself to become a sustainability advocate. So before we dive deeper into the topic of today, which is harnessing the power of technology to propel MSME sustainability, I want to use this opportunity to share with everyone. Today, we would love to launch our new initiative, MSMEs Card. Could you please pull up the slide, please? So, just now we have all these industry experts talking about what the future travel looks like. So, imagine, nowadays consumers, they are actually already creating new demands, looking for new set of experience. There's actually a report that shows a lot of consumers, they actually want to travel with purpose, even if it means at a cost. So they're willing to pay, but that experience has to be authentic. That means we need to have some sort of standard and validation in place to help these consumers to get the information that the merchants that they are actually getting services from and buying products from are actually sustainable. So today we have MSMEs Card. So let's get on with it and show what that means. So this is Ibu Susi. So she operates a cafe shop in Sumbawa, very beautiful island. And then she is trying to get validated that she's sourcing from an ethical coffee supplier. But look, like she has a very small coffee shop and she has a 3-year-old and a 6-year-old children. So in order for her to be certified, it's very time consuming because a lot of the data points are still sitting with the paper trails. And then if she wants to engage with a consultant, it's very costly. And don't even mention the onerous process that she needs to go through. So let's imagine a new world when we have the scorecard. I need some help here. It's not moving. Okay. So MSMEs Card stands for Sustainability Impact Scorecard. Through digital innovations, we are making MSME ESG credential measurable and transparent. So we can drive economic resilience for these small businesses, but help them, nudge them, change their mindset so they can get on with the climate mitigation and adaptation journey. And at the result, we generate sustainable impact. Next slide, please. So today we are actually more digitally connected than ever. So there's a lot of data point that is already existing in the business environment for a lot of the small businesses. So we see that with the connectivity, there's actually a lot of data insights that has already been processed through machine and payment platforms that can be extracted. And what can we do is actually we can automate those ESG credentials and come up with a validation, sort of like a ESG credential scorecard for these small businesses. And then with that validation, they get recognition from their consumers. And then from there, they can actually acquire new business opportunities and grow. So this is Ibu Susi, 8 a.m. when she opens her coffee shop. She's offering mobile payment. So that way, she's reducing paper receipts and also saving her time on handling the money change at the cashier system. That's another example. At 1 p.m., She's operating her smart operating system. This is an all-in-one solution, so she doesn't need to scramble to figure out where her stock ticks are, how her sales records look like, and then she can also reach wider customer reach because the system will provide her an omni-channel to reach customers online and offline at the same time. For example, people coming to her coffee shop to buy a coffee or ordering online. And then through payments account, we can also help track what kind of purchases she's been making through those accounts. So for example, 3:30, she can easily pull out her dashboard, and then she can see, this month actually I'm making payment to this ethical food producers. This month I'm actually using my account to pay for energy-saving light bulbs. So all these things should be easily traceable. And then 4:30, after the shop winds down, then she would pull up her trusted validation, and then she will see there's a certificate already readily available showing herself and also her potential customers how sustainable she is. And at the end, 9 o'clock, because these small businesses have needs to turn around liquidity, maybe they need a 1-week liquidity. So she will get on to her digital banking system and then apply for sustainable finance. So sustainable finance needs record of her sustainable behavior. So this way, she will be able to sleep peacefully because she knows next day she'll be able to get her loan approved, and then she'll get extra benefit for being sustainable, such as an early repayment windows or a discount at her loan rate. So this is how the scorecard could potentially look like. We are going to pilot this project together with our partner GCash, and also working with a lot of industry partners, such as consulting with IFC and also our tech partner Greenprint here. So we cannot do it alone, but we are very fortunate we have actually a group of very good partners who can do this together. All right, so let's move on to the actual serious conversation now. So because Leiming, you're my boss, so you take the first question. For many MSMEs, as we see Ibu Suzy, like she's struggling with her time and her resources. So how do you think digital innovation can level the playing field to enable small businesses like Ibu Suzy's to track, manage, and meet ESG standards not locally, but also internationally?
Thank you, Carrie. You're doing a fine job. So, this is obviously we live in this digital age. Comes along with the innovation, the age of innovation. So the challenge really is when we look at MSMEs, what are their needs in terms of sustainability? What we, the S-card demonstration is great. We've been sort of working with the partners together. The digital age has provided unprecedented, access to suite of technology tools for SMEs. But in my view, I think just giving the tools is not enough. SMEs face many challenges, and not only cost and others, but most importantly, really mindset. Right? So what I see a technology innovation can really bring to SMEs that will change their sustainability behavior really is something that will also incorporate sort of a knowledge sharing that will sort of change their mindset, right? So I think a lot of that, what we try to do with Greenprint and other initiatives really help them to sort of build that knowledge base and change mindset. And another thing I think is critically important really is, look at disclosure, sustainability. It's not just burden, how we turn the burden into incentive. For example, working with IFC and other wallet partners, bring that opportunity for green financing opportunities, reduce their financing costs at preferential rates. So together, I think hopefully with other technological tools in terms of improve their ability to track and measure their ESG data, hopefully we can bring a lot of changes to MSEs.
Thank you. Yeah, I think that underlying metrics is actually really important because there's a lot of also greenwashing issues and risk. So for MSME to trust, to be trusted, I think there needs to be an international alignment on what that means. So Vivek, very excited that you're here. Thank you so much for making time. So actually, until recently, you were the director and global head of climate business at the IEFC. So you have been in this space for a long time. You've seen the good side and also the urgency. How do you see a tool like the scorecard could impact MSME at scale, especially in the developing markets?
So I'm going to break my answer up into two, and I just want to highlight why this is important here. When an SME wakes up in the morning, he or she is not looking at how sustainable they are in terms of climate. They're interested in they have a receivable at 320 for $3,000 or 3,000 pesos. Is that coming on time or not? So the question is, why is it important? I think Doug earlier said 90% are SMEs. I think 50% of employment. Give or take a few percentage points of GDP. So if SMEs are not able to look at climate risks and manage them, both mitigation and adaptation, we're going to have a situation where they're going to be eventually cut out of value chains, which is critical. And very important, which no one's talking about, is the impact of climate risk as in physical risk. So we really need to get them to focus on adaptation. The question is, how do we do that? I mean, clearly we need to use domestic financial institutions, but the benefit of using technology is now forgive me if I'm wrong, but what I learned from your founder was the 3-2-1 rule. And the efficiency of using technology in terms of fewer human touch points, the ability to process faster, and come out with, hopefully, results that can then be replicated across diverse markets. And I'm a big believer in technology because I think that's the way we're able to cut out a lot of unnecessary processes, including in an institution like mine. But that's really what technology can do. It can have us reach institutions that are far more diverse, whereas physically, if you were to look at each one of them, how are you going to work with, literally millions of companies? Philippines, how many islands do you all have? How are you going to reach these companies? How are you going to get them to understand this? And I think that's really the role that technology can play. I will also caution, and I do say this openly, but we need to take into account the carbon impact of using digital as well. So let's incorporate that from day one, because what we don't want to do is we don't want to solve for an emissions problem because of energy usage in other sectors and land up with an emission problem due to data centers and things like that. But technology is, without doubt, the only way we're going to be able to reach the millions of SMEs we need to reach.
Thank you. So I think Vivek and I were in a roundtable 2 days ago. So I think there's a lot of discussion how to transition like fossil fuel, coal, like energy. But actually not a lot of people have been focusing on the consumption side of things, of the equation yet. So I will turn to GCash because of your remarkable achievement empowering millions of Filipinos and local businesses to spend, borrow, and grow their money. And you just celebrated your 20th anniversary. Congratulations on that milestone. So always find it fascinating to hear about GCash's story. And I know you're ready to share with the audience of your journey, how you see the MSME inclusion and now sustainability, you may make a difference. And then how do you see local digital platforms, what role you can play?
And thank you. We're very proud of that milestone. And MSMEs really play a big part of our journey. In the Philippines, and I heard stats earlier, 90%. In the Philippines, 99.5% of businesses are MSMEs. Unfortunately, 60% of those businesses will close shop in the next 2 years. And this is mainly because a lot of them are unprepared for the operational and external shocks, maybe the pandemic, demand, profitability concerns, and again, these are the things that they're not used to on a day-to-day basis. And definitely the success of MSME for us should be more sustained. So our role, we believe, is to make sure that our MSMEs will become more resilient, so that they become more productive and sustainable. And one solution or one help that we did is the design simple and accessible financial solutions for them. And one thing that we did is leverage on data. And we're able to leverage our AI-powered credit score. It's called G-Score. We're able to provide access to more than 5 million borrowers, and a third of them are small businesses. And they're able to avail of these loans without any additional documentation nor collateral. So we're here to support MSMEs to become not just a sustainable business, but also so they'll be ready to be more successful moving forward.
Thank you. Since we are actually running out of time, and I'm like kind of between this panel and next wonderful drinks, so I will invite all our panelists. If there's one word that you can think about, like the future of MSME sustainability, what would that be? Just one word to describe that.
So I'll take more than a word, but let's stop using the word ESG. Let's start using the word it makes good business sense to do this.
Thank you.
For me, it's practical. Our solutions should be practical for them so that it becomes a sustainable application.
I think we talked a lot about financial inclusion, digital inclusion, but now what about sustainability inclusion for MSEs? So that should be our focus, whether it's business or just for sustainability strategy.
Thank you. So without further ado, please give a big applause to our panelists here. And then also, Fang Fang, I see you, so I want to give you a big shout out. Thank you. We will give a toast to our audience, and then, okay, so no more toast. So we will have a networking drink at the ESG lounge. Please help yourself and make your way over. Thank you.